Hey there guys, Kylene here with Wednesday Wardrobing. Welcome to our VIP group, Fashion Crossroads Fashionistas. We're glad that you are here tonight. And even if you're catching the replay, make sure you say hello. I'd love to know that you watched. I'd love to know what you think. Leave me a comment, question, whatever. It's great for me to see the interaction on these videos. Okay, so welcome to Wednesday Wardrobing. I'm glad you're here. Tonight we're talking about something that almost every woman has struggled with at some point, which is finding jeans that actually fit. Have you ever gone into the dressing room with 3 different sizes of the same jean and they all fit differently? There's a reason for that. We're going to talk about that tonight. Or knowing that you wear a certain size in a brand, but you go in one time and you have to go up a size or down a size. It can be maddening, right? Tonight I'm going to explain why the right fit matters so much more than the size on the tag. That is really important. You cannot get caught up with that. Really, you cannot get caught up with that with any clothing, because when they add stretch to things, that completely changes everything. It's much more about the fit and getting the right fit that's going to make you feel good in your jeans. All right, so first of all, we're going to talk about rise. Rise changes everything. So the rise refers to the length between the top of the jean and the crotch of the jean. So it refers to the distance between the top of the jean and where it stops down here. That is the rise. That is how you measure a rise. If you're curious about your own rise or a jean rise, that's how you measure from here to here, right where the seam comes and stops. That is the rise. Okay, so rise and where it fits is way more dependent upon your body than it is on whether the jean is a high rise or a low rise or a mid rise. And this is because if you're short waisted, which means you have most of your length in your legs and your torso from your shoulder to your actual waist is pretty short, that is going to impact where a jean fits on you. And if you're long-waisted, which means most of your length is in your torso and you're short-legged, that is going to change where a jean fits on you, regardless of whether it says it's short rise, mid rise, high rise, whatever. So generally, your rises are, oh, I got a crazy hair there. A short rise, which we're really not seeing those anymore unless you're like, you know, a real young teenager. Generally for our age group, 40 and over, you're dealing with mid rises, regular rises, and high rises. And I do want to clarify the difference between a regular rise and a high rise. So it's something you have to be careful of right now with our current jeans. So mid-rise is usually an inch below your waist. So generally just above your belly button is where that mid-rise is gonna hit, depending upon if you're short-waisted or long-waisted. Regular rise is right at your natural waist, and high rise officially is even beyond your natural waist. So going a little bit above your natural waist. So high rise is thrown around right now, especially in younger circles, interchangeably with a regular rise and also the extra high rise. So you have to clarify when you're looking at jeans, is this a regular rise or is this a high rise? High rise officially being even higher than a regular rise, okay? So just so you know, when you get a petite jean, a true petite is going to be shorter in the rise as well as shorter in the length. So if you are a shorter person, and you are getting a jean and you need you're a shorter person, you need it short in the rise and short in the leg, you need a petite jean. But if you're buying a jean that just has lengths, like say it's a 27 or a 28 or a 29 or a 30 or a 31 or a 32 in length, that is referring to just the length of the leg. It has nothing to do with the rise. The rise of that jean will either be a mid-rise, a regular rise, or a high rise. When you have a petite jean, that means that the rise is shorter as well as the length is shorter. So if you are a shorter girl and you really struggle with finding jeans that are short enough, try a petite jean. That might be the perfect option for you, because if you're shorter in the legs, generally you're going to be shorter in the waist as well. And so just getting the shorter length of leg is still going to make the rise fit in a weird spot. So all of that really matters as you're considering rises. So this one is a regular rise. This is our Not Your Daughter's regular rise jean. And then this one is a high rise. And you can kind of see just by looking at it how much longer the distance is from the top of this down to here. And that can help you to try to figure out what kind of rise are we talking about when different brands are talking about those three rises. So, hey Sandra, how are you? So yeah, if you have any questions about that, let me know. And knowing where you like your jeans to sit is really important. The higher your rise, this is really important too if you are long-waisted and short-legged. The higher your jeans come up, the longer it's going to make your legs seem, and there's going to elongate your legs. And also, when you have a mid-rise, sometimes that tends to push belly fat up and out, creating the muffin top. So the higher rise jeans are better for holding in the tummy and not creating a muffin top, because the waist goes up and over the top of that generally to the slimmer part of your body, and you don't create that up and over. So generally, if you're concerned about a muffin top or that makes you frustrated, you need a higher rise jean. If you feel like your jeans are way up here, they're almost at the bottom of your rib cage, you're needing a shorter rise jean, because nobody wants to wear their jeans like Urkel way up here underneath your rib cage. All right, so hopefully that little discussion helps. All right, so the next thing we need to talk about is the difference between a straight leg, a boot cut. Let's do this. A straight leg, a baby boot, a boot cut, and a flare. Okay, so lots of different leg options there. So a straight leg, this is a straight leg from Not Your Daughter's, is exactly what it says. It goes straight down from the top of the jean through the leg. The leg doesn't get wider or narrower. It just goes straight down from the crotch all the way down. Okay, so that is a traditional straight leg. We are really getting away from skinnies, so I'm not going to talk about skinnies tonight. Then you have a baby boot, which baby boots are just a little tiny bit wider than a straight leg. And honestly, it's hard to tell the difference. So if I put this baby boot next to this straight leg, let's just see. Yeah, so this jean, which is a lissé, they call this a baby boot. It is actually the same width as the straight leg jean in Not Your Daughter's that I just showed you. So therein lies an important factor. Every brand is going to define this a little bit differently. So as you find brands that you like, then that will help you, because you're going to know what they mean when they say baby boot versus straight versus boot cut. Okay, so this is considered a baby boot. If you see that description, what that means is it's a little bit slighter flare than a straight leg. Very slight, very slight. Then we get into a actual boot cut. And with the boot cut jean, you're going to see it actually flare out at the bottom. So you're going to see it get wider as it goes down the leg to the bottom. It's going to actually flare out at the bottom. That is a boot cut jean. So can you see that? And then you have a flare. Flare legs actually are more wide than a boot, are wider than a boot cut, and flare out at the bottom. So you can see that one, and these get really wide. Like, I'm carrying very moderate examples of all of these and showing you very moderate examples. But like when I go to market, they'll have flares that literally look like, you know, your old-fashioned 70s that completely covers your whole leg and foot and everything. So this is a moderate flare, even though this is considered a flare jean. So those are the 4 different flare options that you can have, from straight to baby boot to flare. Hey Katie, how are you doing? All right, so let's see. Straight legs are balanced, versatile, and they work with nearly every shoe. Boot cuts have a slight opening below the knee that balances proportions. So if you have more hip, a boot cut is going to balance your figure better than a straight leg. If you're pretty straight up and down, you're going to be able to do a straight leg great. But if you have more hip and butt, a boot cut will help to balance that figure. And then a flare is going to elongate the leg and create a dramatic flared silhouette. So this jean that I have on is a flare tonight. So you can see when I turn sideways, it's pretty much covering my shoe. So this gives me a very long leg, and I don't have long legs. I'm a petite, I'm 5'3", but this flared jean gives me a longer leg, elongates my leg because of that big flare at the bottom. And I have to wear a heel with these, but not a big one. This is the Hannah flare from Liverpool that I have on right now. So the other thing I like about flares is they look a little trousery. And so for work, I think they're one of the most professional jeans that you can wear to work because of that flare and because how pretty that leg and that foot look. And then if you keep the wash really dark and clean, even more so to create that trousery kind of style. All right. Stretch versus structure. Okay. So you may have heard the term recovery. Denim people like to talk about recovery in jeans. And what that means is premium denim lines work very hard to make sure that their jeans are stretchy but don't stretch out. So we talk about that with Not Your Daughters all the time because they're an example of this. They relax a half a size and then they stop. And so you can wear these jeans 3 or 4 times as long as you don't stain them. And they're not going to keep growing or getting bigger every single time you put them on. That is recovery. You have the stretch, but they don't bag out or stretch out or grow on you. Now, less expensive jeans will do this. And so you have to watch that. those are the jeans that, you know, you put on and you have to wash them after one wear because they literally have grown 2 sizes while you wore them during the day. We always say with the Not Your Daughters and pretty much any kind of jean with recovery, you want to allow for it to relax to your body. So that's generally like a half a size. So you don't want to start out with them too loose, because you have to think, once this relaxes a half a size, am I going to like the fit of it? So better with those kind of premium denims to start out with it a little bit tight rather than too loose, so it doesn't get to the point where you're having to pull it up all day. So that is something to watch out for. Lizette is also one of our premium denim lines that has recovery. So Lizette is a pull-on jean, has tons of stretch, but also completely holds its shape. These ones, they fit a little bit tight. So generally people go up a size in them and then they hold their shape really well. Lizette is known for its 360-degree shaper that's on the inside, and for also being a pull-on jean. The benefit of a pull-on jean is that you don't have the button to add bulk in the front of your jean. If you're already sensitive about a tummy, sometimes a pull-on jean can be more slimming than an actual zipper button-up jean. Okay. So premium denim moves with you while maintaining its shape throughout the day. Premium, you should expect to pay more. These are jeans that are generally in the $100 to $130 range. You should expect to pay more for a premium denim that has full recovery, but you're also gonna love your jeans so much better, because there is honestly nothing worse than wearing a jean that grows on you through the whole day and that you have to wash after one wear. Who wants to do that? We don't have time for that. Okay, alrighty. So why sizes differ in the same brand and also between brands. We talked about that a little bit at the beginning. So if you tuned in late, go back to the beginning for the discussion about rises. That's a really important part about why jeans fit differently between brands, because it's how they define their rise and how that rise fits your body. But another important thing to consider is jean makers, when they make jeans, they have a great big pile of denim and these huge mechanical cutters that come down and cut the shape of the jean. Huge piles of denim that are cut all at once. So just by the nature of the denim sliding and all of that, the jean on the top is going to be smaller and the jean on the bottom is going to be bigger, just because of the cutter. So that is why sometimes you'll be like, but I always wear a size 6 in a Not Your Daughters. But then you come in and one pair, the 6 is fitting too tight. And you're like, what happened? That's the reason. Because probably that 6 was in a different spot in the big pile of denim than your previous 6. So it is always good to try on denim to be sure that it's fitting as you expect it to fit. All right. And then fit matters more than the number. Do not get caught up in the size on the ticket, especially with pants, because so much of the sizing is brand specific. Some brands use vanity sizing, which means, you know, your 6 is really an 8, your 4 is really, your 4 is really a 6. I had to question myself, am I going the right direction? And then some brands are generous brands, some brands are smaller brands, and then the level of stretch that a brand has absolutely determines how it's going to fit. So some of these brands that have crazy stretch, you know, you maybe a normal 8 and you can wear a 4 because of that crazy stretch and because of how you like your jeans to fit. So that is why there's just no rhyme or reason. Size is so arbitrary. You really shouldn't get caught up in it. What you should focus on more is how does the jean look and feel on your body? Do you feel great in it? And you know, we all know when we put on a jean that feels great, that we just want to wear all the time, because every time we look at ourselves in the mirror, we're like, wow, I look good in this jean. That's what you go for. You don't worry about the size. Don't worry about the size. It's an arbitrary number. So free yourself from that stress. Alrighty. So the secret word tonight, you guys, Sandra and Carrie, is foundation. So to get entered to win the $50 gift certificate, which I'm going to give away after next week's Wednesday wardrobing, you just need to use the word foundation in a sentence before the live ends. All right. Collection. So this Saturday, I'm launching an elevated tees collection that is all about some new tees that we got in the store, pairing them up with the denim and then showing you how to elevate them, how to get that pulled together look, even with a classic jean and tee kind of outfit. So that launches Saturday morning at 9:15 on our regular Facebook page. So definitely tune in for that. And be sure to join us next Wednesday because after that, I'll be giving away that $50 gift certificate. So if you get in on that giveaway tonight and you get your name in the jar, next week you can get another entry by watching live and then commenting the secret word in a sentence. Okay, you guys, I hope that was helpful. I'd love to hear your comments and your questions, even if you're catching the replay. Let me know what you think. All right, just a heads up, Crazy Days is next week. And so pre-Crazy Days, which is our special VIP day, is Thursday. And regular Crazy Days, Friday and Saturday. Saturday, we're going to have the streets blocked off. We're going to have an old car show. The cars are going to be parked right on 2nd Street. We're going to have a kids area. We're going to have a band at David Street Station following the close of Crazy Days. So it's going to be a really fun event. We did just mark down again. So now our summer for 2026 selected pieces are marked 30 or 40% off. You definitely want to get in this week, before next week, before Crazy Days, to grab the best pieces that we just marked down, because they will be gone after next weekend for sure. So be sure to come down and check us out or shop online 24/7, fashioncrossroadsinc.com. All right, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.